There we go. Is it streaming? Click on it. Click out and go back in. I think it's streaming. Yep. Is that that's your. What's the delay? Okay. All right.
Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation by Chaplain Vest.
We say, hark! Order, hark!
I invite you to join me as I pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this special day where we honor Captain Clark as he receives promotion to Major. I thank you for his willingness to serve our country and his hard work and dedication to earn this rank. As he will see an increase in responsibility with this new rank, give him the strength and the wisdom that he needs as he serves his soldiers, their family, and our army. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Vest. Please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm First Lieutenant Rachel Kim, your Master of Ceremony, and it's my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to the promotion ceremony of Captain Patrick Clark. I would like to introduce the official party. The host for today's ceremony is Colonel Ned Marsh, Special Operations Command Europe Deputy Commanding Officer for Support, our guest of honor, Captain Patrick A. Clark, and Chaplain Cody Vest. We want to recognize all of Captain Clark's family, friends, and mentors who are watching live on YouTube. You are about to take part in one of the oldest and most traditionally rich ceremonies in the United States Army, honoring service members as they are advanced to the next higher rank. Today, the United States Army honors Captain Clark on the occasion of his promotion after over 31 years of dedicated and selfless service to this country. Today's ceremony is in keeping with the customs and proud traditions of the Department of the Army. Captain Patrick A. Clark was appointed commander of the 139th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment in November 2023. As commander, Captain Clark oversees all the operations, planning, content creation, soldier training, and development while supporting higher command priorities through content creation and messaging. Captain Clark was previously commander of the 1244th Transportation Company. Captain Clark has over 31 years of military service to date including 18 as an enlisted soldier and 15 as a non-commissioned officer. He took his initial oath of service on July 14, 1944, attending basic combat training and advanced individual training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, graduating as a motor vehicle operator. He went on to receive his commission through the Illinois National Guard Accelerated Officer Candidate School in August 2012. Throughout his career, Captain Clark has progressed through key leadership positions to include platoon leader and operations officer at the 1844th Transportation Company, support operations officer at the 108th Sustainment Brigade, civil affairs officer for 3rd Infantry Division, Sustainment Brigade, officer candidate school tactical officer for the 129th Regional Training Institute, transportation officer for the 232nd Combat Sustainment Support Battalion, operations officer for the 634th Brigade Support Battalion, and logistics officer for the 244th Digital Liaison Detachment. His overseas deployment assignments in support of the global war on terrorism include squad leader and gun convoy truck commander, 1744th Transportation Company during Operation Iraqi Freedom from June 2006 to October 2007, and Brigade Civil Affairs Officer in charge for both the 108th Sustainment Brigade and 3rd Infantry Division Sustainment Brigade during Operation Enduring Freedom, Spartan Shield, Operation Inherent Resolve in Kuwait from January 2014 to June 2015. In addition to his overseas deployments, Captain Clark has also served communities across the country in support of domestic operations to include Hurricane Katrina response in 2005, Illinois flood operations in 2008 and 2019, served as the J4 for the Joint Task Force for COVID-19 test site operations, officer in charge of the Illinois National Guard Situational Awareness Team, supporting the Illinois Department of Public Health Office of Preparedness and Response in support of COVID-19 response operations. Captain Clark's military education includes primary leadership development course, basic non-commissioned officer course, advanced leadership course, transportation officer basic course, Army basic instructor course, Army master resiliency trainer course, Army logistics captain's career course, and the public affairs and communication strategy qualification course. His civilian education includes a Bachelor of Arts degree in mass communications from Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, where he was also a 3-year letter winner of the football team. Captain Clark's awards and decorations include the Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Iraqi Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism, Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, Army Service Ribbon, National Defense Service Medal, Overseas Service Ribbon, German Armed Forces Badge, Combat Action Badge, Illinois State Active Duty Ribbon, and numerous other federal and state awards. Captain Clark resides in St. Louis, Missouri with his 2 dogs, Yadier and Muse. Right now, I am pleased to present to you the host for today's ceremony, Colonel Ned Marsh, Special Operations Command Europe, Deputy Commanding Officer for Support.
Hey, thanks. We gotta just stand here and talk. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks to everyone for coming, and then thanks to friends and family online for joining us from all over. This is an important day, and I'm gonna couch my comments, and I don't want to offend anyone. So let me just start by saying that we all know that the people who do the most amount of work in the U.S. Army are enlisted soldiers and NCOs, right? So let me just keep that in mind and everything else that I say, right? The enlisted soldiers and NCOs are the ones who deserve all the credit really for everything they get done. But in the officer world, we have kind of our own vibe when you get to different ranks, right? And so lieutenants are really here to just kind of learn and make mistakes and be as best as you can be. Like that is great. And captains, to a degree, captains are kind of the same, right? You get a little bit more responsibility. You're the top of the company grade. You got to lead troops. You got to go out and be on the ground. But hey, you know, you're still sort of at the bottom of the barrel. Now at the top we got the generals, and we were kind of joking about before. You know, they're like executives, right? They kind of move around. And they do everything. And then you get to the field grades: major, lieutenant colonel, and colonel. And the theory is that colonels run the army, right? Generals are doing executive stuff. Listed in NCOs are doing all the work, and that colonels run the army. But the fact is, majors are the ones who do all the work for the colonels, right? And so we've got a saying which is iron majors, right? Iron majors are the ones who, because they are the lowest of the low in the field grades, right? You get major, lieutenant colonel, colonel. So you made it to the top of the company grades, congratulations, and then welcome to being at the bottom of the next level again, right? But really, what it is when you move into major and you become a field grade, it's an incredible mark of distinction for every officer in every service in their career, because you're moving into the range of greater responsibility and significantly larger influence. You'll start to see as you learn in the field grade ranks. You have less touch point at the tactical level, but you start to affect many more people, and your decisions are incredibly important, and because they start to affect so many people, and it's a huge mark of confidence in you that the Army has chosen you to move up to the rank of major. Now, Patrick and I, we met on this deployment. We haven't known each other too long, but there's a few things that you probably need to know about him. One, if you haven't learned about the Salukis yet, right? So Patrick, Southern Illinois University, Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, the Salukis. If you haven't figured out what a Saluki is yet, you need that. Where you were a punter.
Hunted for them for 3 years? What? No.
I just assumed that you were a kicker or a punter or something like that.
Defense.
Defense, all right, fair enough. That's on me.
That's all right.
I didn't think you were a punter. But I think, you know, reading your bio and getting to know you, first of all, 18 years as a soldier, 15 as an NCO before you commissioned, that in itself says a lot about you and who you are, right? And then to become a commissioned officer, which is a hard thing to do and a hard choice to make after you've already put so many years of service in. Transportation officer, and now public affairs officer, right? With support to overseas operations, Camp AJ, working with the Kuwait military quite a bit, OEF, OIF, Spartan Shield, as well as, you know, like disaster response and your guard role in the United States across the country. That is the fire which you built your steel in order to become the Iron Major, right? Like I have nothing but confidence that you are going to be an amazing major, just from the limited time that I've seen you interact with your detachment here, with MPAD here, and I know you're a great leader. You're going to continue to be a great leader. So, welcome to the ranks of major. We look forward to serving you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Should we publish the orders for promotion? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you can for the reading of the promotion orders and attaining ceremony.
Attention.
Attention. Post the orders.
Attention to orders. Department of the Army, order number 105-46267, dated 18 December 2024. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Captain Patrick Clark. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of Major. Effective date of 20 June 2024. By order of the Secretary of the Army and Air Force, General Stephen S. Nordhaus, Chief, National Guard Bureau.
One thing we like to do in the officer corps is, as you pin on a new rank, is refresh our oath. So if you face me and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Patrick Clark,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend the Constitution
to support and defend the
of the
Constitution
United States of America
of the United States of America
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely,
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
That I will well and faithfully execute.
that I will
Well and faithfully
well
execute.
and faithfully execute
The duties of the office
the duties of the office
of which I am appointed.
of which I am appointed.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Colonel Marsh. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our guest of honor, Major Patrick Clark.
All right.
Thanks, Rachel. Thank you, Colonel Marsh, for those kind and inspiring words. Originally, I wanted this to be very informal. Oh yeah, take your seat, please. With me basically pitting myself and just going on with my day. But I'm actually glad I was convinced otherwise, because this ceremony isn't just for me. In reality, it's celebrating all those who got me to this point. Many of who are here today and tuning live on YouTube. Technology is so cool, isn't it? Like I said, this is more about the many people who put in the work, and there certainly was a lot of work when it comes to me to get me here. It's unclear how many promotions I've left in me. Ideally at least one more before I'm sent out to pasture. So I wanted to take the time to recognize some of the many that helped me along this journey. Those who know me know I'm about legacy. The mark you leave when you move on. But my legacy isn't possible without those who prepared me to face it. A truly successful leader doesn't lead alone, and a legacy doesn't establish itself alone. Both are synonymous with each other. So with that, I want to thank my predecessor, Major Grove, for trusting in me to carry out his legacy with the 139th MPAD. You identified me early on as someone fit to continue the mission with a group of people you need to care for, and that's the group that's here. To Staff Sergeant Ellis, I don't know if he's awake or if he's watching, but he's my readiness NCO for the 139th MPAD. It's been a ride. We wouldn't be here without your efforts getting us out here, out the door, probably because you now only have to do half the work. Though I think you did more for us the first 4 months from your closet in the armory back in Chicago than we anticipated, including you getting me here, promoted. Thank you, Sergeant Ellis. To the 139th MPAD soldiers, First Sergeant Prendergast, thank you for balancing me out and holding the standards. I live in this area of gray sometimes, and he gets me back in line by showing me the black and white, which is good. You need that. You always need someone there to balance you out. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And I'm lucky to have someone like you leading beside me. I'm lucky to have 2 officers here with me that I've seen development into great officers and even better people. Andrew, typically someone would say you've come a long way. Well, the truth is you've always been on this path of excellence. I noticed that when you were an OCS candidate, when you were one of the few that didn't stumble saying your first 4. I look forward to taking what you learned here, and as you take command and lead your soldiers. Rachel, our past goes back to noon CrossFit at CrossFit Gambit. The way you adapted to things then were a precursor to what was to come, and I was honored when you asked me about joining the Army, and proud when you completed OCS. I'm lucky to have you on this team. You've taught me patience, and that sometimes I need to step back and take a breath. I hope you've learned more from me. Soldiers of the 139th Band, again, specifically the NCOs. I've been around some of the best and experienced some of that in my own shoes. But just because I've been an NCO doesn't make me an expert in it, even though sometimes I self-proclaim I am. I can honestly say, you guys are some of among the best that I've ever served with, and I truly mean that. Colonel Marsh, thank you for honoring me with your words and as host of this ceremony. You've been a big supporter of the MPAD, and you've welcomed this group of National Guardsmen and made us feel a part of the soccer family. Nicole, you've been the rock of the PA section, a valuable resource and mentor to all of us. You truly want the best for us, and it shows in your support of us. You're our biggest fan. I think it's no longer because we're from your home state, but rather that you care about us, and we care about you in return. So thank you. Colonel Bogart, I think he's probably watching, probably in the comments, probably trolling the people trolling me right now. At least I hope he is. I wish you were here and to be part of this, because in the short 3.5 months together, you have left an impression on me as a leader, a PA, a professional, and also as a mentor. Get better, and we can't wait to see you in March. Now here's the time for some shout outs. First to the Suit Up Saturday crew. That's retired Captain Jared Thomas, Captain Trevor Garner, First Sergeant Eric Daggett, who's deployed right now in Poland, retired Sergeant First Class John Howard, retired Staff Sergeant Brett Tripp, retired Sergeant Greg Arts. Miss you guys. We need to have a reunion ASAP and suit up to celebrate this occasion. My 1244, 1344, 1744, 1844 transportation family. So many great soldiers, leaders. You were and are the reason I've survived this long. Special out to Sergeant First Class Bichon, retired, Sergeant First Class Sassenberry, Sergeant First Class Valenta, and also Command Sergeant Major Tallman, who was my first sergeant when I was commanded at 1244. Thank you so much for everything you've done to get me to this point as well. I wouldn't be here on this path without some great officers in my career, in my corner and fixing me when I was whole laid up, but also allowing me to be me and trusting me to get the mission done. General Boyd, our TAG, General Eastridge, General Williams, General Osborne, my brigade commander, Colonel Casson, thanks for trusting me with your MPAD. Colonel Newman, thank you for showing me that you can always learn a new skill. Colonel Roach, thanks for sticking with me and checking in on me. Colonel Barton, thanks for being yourself and showing me humor has a place and time. Colonel Roxworthy and Colonel Jacobs, two amazing women who've been great sounding boards and great leaders. I hope I get to work with you in the future. To Major Sidney Jacks, thanks for being my Army little sis, even though you can kick my ass. You're the epitome of strength in so many ways. You are my spirit animal. Love you. To Captain Lauren Grossman, thank you for teaching me to not be scared of my past and embrace it, and make it a foundation for strength. I'm extremely proud of you for chasing your dreams. You inspire me. To my CrossFit family, of course, I'm a CrossFitter. We have to talk about CrossFit. I wouldn't have found this life-changing and life-saving methodology without the military. Thanks to the B.Friendly crew, Brian and Chad, our supporters, especially those tuning in, wondering what the heck they're watching. No, this is not a eulogy. My athletes from Pinnacle, Sahar, Ava, Lindsay, Chloe, Dana, Leah, Morgan, and yes, you too, Jamie. Thanks for letting me use what I've learned from the Army and represent you. Colonel Noakes, what can I say? Where do I start? From the first moment we met, you were a Butterbar, I was an E5, and I hated you. But you showed me immediately that there's a method to the madness. There's a difference between leadership and likership. 22 years later, 2 deployments together, countless real conversations. You're the reason why I'm here and not sitting in a VA hall telling war stories. Your family. You taught me the definition of leadership, and most importantly, the phrase, mission first and soldiers always. Service and legacy were never stressed upon me, but I now know it's because I was born into this. I'm from a military family, and that family has been my greatest mentors. My brother, retired Staff Sergeant Kelly Clark, he taught me levity and that every soldier has a story, and leaders need to take the time to hear those stories. My sister, Sergeant First Class Erica McCrary, what can I say? I know you hate it when I say it, but you are my hero. You're one of two people I can say that about. Your strength, both internally and externally, is what I strive for. The care you show for your soldiers is unfathomable. Thank you so much. My parents, Mom, sorry to wake you up. Thanks for being there and doing the best you can with us kids when Dad was away. My father, retired Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Burl, Ken Clark. You're the other half of the two heroes in my life. My best friend, and I often say, if I die half the man you were, I lived a full life. You showed me how to lead with my heart, my mind, and also from the front, just like you did. Thank you for not pressuring me and letting me find my own way. But I think you know I would have ended up here regardless. I love you and thank you again. For anyone I missed out, you aren't missed. You're the reason why I'm here. If you take any credit for me being here, then you certainly deserve it. Remind me of that when we see each other. I'll buy that first round. Thank you once again for listening to this old guy ramble. Major Clark out.
Thank you, Major Clark. Please remain standing for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony, and I thank you for attending. And please join us in a receiving line to congratulate Major Clark. There are also light snacks and refreshments for